But again, our special guest, once again, back by popular demand and back because he has things he wants to say because he's so passionate about this ecosystem and crypto and, hedging against the ever worsening US dollar. It is Frank Molina. So, Ewok, Frank, welcome in, friends. And let's get right over to you, Frank. I mean, you kind of hit me up with some things you wanted to talk about. I saw you've been tweeting the last couple of days about just some of your general thoughts about this ecosystem. But let's get what's on your mind first. I want to hear from you. So let's hear it.
Yeah, I mean, thanks for bringing me on. Every time I come on here, I feel like I can speak freely and without losing my train of thought. So I really wanted to come back. The past few days, I take my moments of, random disappearance and then random, reappearance. So typically that goes for a series of a few weeks or so. But whenever we were in the bear market and I was encouraging everybody to go do their own research and to go buy up their positions, that's when I wanted to be the most active because that's typically when you're going to be able to get into those positions at the very bottom. You're going to be able to reap those rewards in the future. I, for one, myself, I don't care about anything because whatever the market does at this point, I'm already up, right? So I hope that everybody who was listening to me a couple months ago, or not just me, but anybody who was, proclaiming about buying the bottom, they're sitting pretty on their position as well. A lot of people have a very narrow mindset when it comes to this, new asset class and this new way of approaching investing. And unfortunately, it's a very, very, in my opinion, it's a very, toxic mindset because it's a microwave mentality. They want their gains right now. They want to be able to retire, whatever it is that they want to do. And when someone like me is appreciating, 300, 400% from the bottom, even at these low prices, I take it from a very gratitude perspective. Because for me to do that in the traditional financial markets would have taken me decades. Right. So I'm not over here complaining. I'm over here, hoping other people change their mindset to understand, hey, listen, yeah, it may not be the Solana, these massive meme coins types of pumps, but you're sitting on something that if you just sit still, time has to go by regardless. If there wasn't for PulseX and PulseChain, you have to go work a job anyway. So you might as well just sit tight and let the years go by, and eventually you're able to reap those rewards. Now, what we're going to get into later is that I have no interest in going back into USD, more than I need to, because it's a worthless currency that's not backed by anything, right? So that's my little, update on what's going on. I see a lot of people have been doing a lot of effort to engage the community and bring other people outside of this, just the realms of the RH ecosystem. So I'm very, very excited to see what the next few months hold,
Cool.
Totally. Go ahead, Ewok.
Well, no, I was just going to say, you said you take your little 2-week, 2-month breaks, whatever they are. It's been 2 months since we've had you on last. How do you feel things have changed? Like from the time you were on and stepped away and came back, what kind of, I don't know, are there any changes that you're seeing in the mentality of people, in the moods, things like
that? Morale, because a lot of people are just seeing that, hey, why isn't our assets pumping and everybody else is going in this direction, right? And when the whole EHEX thing happened too, I was actually very disappointed in everybody in the community, right? Because anybody who's upset at things like that, just they don't understand what they hold. And I don't know how much I have to, and other people have to yell through the microphone, hey, can you please understand what you're holding? If this was a meme coin, I'd be completely for it. I'd be completely, supporting your ranting and your complaining. But people that have been here for a very, 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 very long time, I started seeing them complaining. And then that made me very disappointed because as leaders and, quote unquote influencers, you need to have a certain level of stoicism when you present yourself to the public. People who don't know, people who aren't, as knowledge as you are, you're supposed to be someone that they look up to. People who rely on you to give them some sort of, hey, these are the facts. The facts don't change, right? And whatever's happening in the interim, in the moment, that's all emotional reactions, right? So don't rely on the emotional reactions, but look at the facts, and the facts never changed. What happens to price in that moment, on that day, or that series of days, or a series of weeks or months, does not change the fact that Hex was always going to be a long-term store of value. The code never changed. It's never failed us. There's going to be volatility. That's in Bitcoin, that's in Ethereum, that's in everything, right? You can't change that. Okay. And then when Richard spoke about it, he was just verbally speaking out loud what everybody already knew. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to look at starting and ending the stake on Ethereum costs significantly more than starting and ending stake on PulseChain. Now, let me put it in this perspective. If you are a fund manager and you have hundreds of millions and tens of millions of dollars ready to deploy, do you really care about the starting and ending gas fees on the Ethereum network? You don't really care in proportion to the amount of capital that you have. Richard gave you the opportunity for the average person who doesn't have that type of capital to go do the same thing on the PulseChain network. But both of those products are the exact same thing. There's nothing that he did that people already didn't know. But the market just wants to react. They're very, very emotional. And that's where immaturity comes on, right? They still haven't experienced enough life. They haven't been through enough aspects of business and investing where they know, hey, this may not be doing what Solana meme coins are doing, but this is the real deal. And I can argue in so many different ways why anything in the Richard Heart system is better than the US dollar. That's factual. That is not a matter of opinion. It can be taken and interpreted as opinion, but when you know the facts, it's really not. So I speak from what the US dollar is, what are the facts about the Richard Heart tokens, what it is, the problem that it's solving, and then it's much more than just freedom of speech and freedom to transact and freedom to do what you want and privacy. It's much more than that. That is a very big component of it, but it's the same vision that Satoshi had. Satoshi said, I'm going to create a new monetary system that's going to be detached and depegged from the US dollar because the US dollar was worth nothing. So if you understand what Bitcoin did and the problem that it solved, and then you understand that Richard Heart has those same principles and values where everybody else in the crypto community just had a grifter mindset. They took advantage of the new asset class emerging, and they wanted to take money from consumers and retail and naive individuals. Richard Heart says, I don't need your money. I have hundreds of millions myself. I'm going to create something that follows the same path as Satoshi had, but better. And that's what PulseChain, PulseX, and Hex is. That's literally what Hex was designed to do. It was a better Bitcoin. And then he just made it even better by forking it to PulseChain. But the concept and the ideology behind it never changed. The only thing that changed was emotional retail that caused volatility in the price.